What up, nomads? In this video, I'm tackling a question submitted in my YouTube comments on how to pack for a formal business trip in February, specifically to Poland. I love this question because it's a real life situation that combines some of my tips in my video on how to pack for a winter trip and my guide to packing for a business trip, which are two videos you should totally check out. As always, I start all my packing lists with 4 parameters: weather, activities, vibe, and trip length. So, weather first. January and February are the coldest months in Poland, with an average snowfall of 11 days out of the month, and temperatures just below freezing. For the activities, this subscriber wasn't specific, but did give me the vibe, very formal, and the trip length, 7 days. So, my first piece of advice for this person would be to get as much information as possible about the activities likely to take place on this trip. Is there a gala requiring a black tie outfit? Will you be taken on an outdoor sightseeing tour and spend considerable time in the cold as part of this trip? I'm using these 2 examples because they're on opposite ends of the spectrum and require the most specific clothing. Once you have those high-stakes packing items decided on, you can build your list around that. Ideally, you'd be able to use those items in other outfits, but that's not always possible. And it's perfectly fine if those outfits live in their own bubble and the rest of the packing list mixes and matches more seamlessly. It's tempting to buy the perfect new outfit that lends itself to mixing and matching for this particular trip, but my goal with this channel is not to get you to buy all new travel-friendly clothes, but to shop your own closet first. And if you travel a lot and there are some recurring needs that you could satisfy with a particular item, that's when I start shopping. So let's assume there is a very formal gala and an outdoor portion of the trip, and the rest of the trip is business meetings or perhaps like a conference. That means you'd already be packing a fancy dress, an anorak or some sort of puffy insulated winter coat, and likely some practical warm boots. One area where you might consider getting more wear is when you choose the footwear for the formal event. With a long gown or maybe an evening appropriate suit, you can get away with wearing a smart boot, maybe something that's glossy with a pointy toe, which you could wear in different moments during your trip. If you're wearing a short sleeve gown, you can wear a blazer sort of draped over your shoulders or a cardigan with nice buttons, and these are items that you could mix and match throughout your trip. Or you could also try something trendy like a wool capelet. A lot of gowns are often pictured with like a pashmina shawl with them, which if you're already packing a nice scarf, that could be a great way to get more wear out of your items. But just a warning fashion-wise for that look, the style can feel quite like juvenile going to prom or bridesmaid, or on the other end can be a little aging. So it's just not the most fashion-forward choice. So let's regroup to what we have so far. Coat, a formal dress, possibly a blazer, some booties, and some practical warm boots. And for the cute boots, you can absolutely wear them outside if it's not too icy and slushy. Just make sure that you bring some really warm socks. And if you're wearing your really warm boots outside, but most of your activities are inside, just switch into those more cute boots inside, which you could mix and match with the rest of your outfits. So let's round out this packing list with a few of my favorite winter business staples. A thin turtleneck or 2. These pack so light and are so easy to layer or to wear on their own. A wool skirt, which you can have in different lengths and thicknesses, so this is really up to you and what you have. One warning though, if you do opt for a shorter, even just above the knee wool skirt, make sure that you have really warm tights or that you are wearing taller boots so that your legs aren't too exposed. I really like midi skirts in the winter because they're super warm, but even if you're wearing a short skirt, you could have one of those really long wool coats, which can protect your legs. Next, a merino wool ribbed polo. I think these are really fantastic. And trousers, especially wool blend trousers. This is such a classic look, easy to pack, easy to iron if there's an iron at your hotel or if you brought a steamer. And on the days that I'm gonna be outside quite a bit, this would be my pant of choice, and I would layer it over some tights for even additional warmth. So wool trousers are definitely an MVP for me for winter business trips. I might also pack a blouse. Silk blouses tend to be warmer than polyester ones, so that's something to keep in mind. And if you have room, maybe one more wool dress. This one's quite a thick rib, but you can get them even thinner so they pack even smaller into your suitcase. So where I'm hesitating is really with the outerwear, because if you're gonna be spending considerable time outside and it is quite cold, then I would recommend something that's puffy. And you know, all black and sort of the shorter length puffers can be work appropriate and quite sensible if that's the message that you're trying to send. But if I have space, I also like to bring something a little bit more evening-like, and so a wool coat can be a nice option that just is instantly really smart looking. And what I like to do is layer an insulated vest underneath, which, you know, adds warmth, definitely adds protection, but also adds a little bit of visual interest to your outfits. So there's more like dimension to it. But that's really up to you. So you can mix and match and bring maybe like a short cropped wool coat or a long one, or a puffer that is shorter and squishes into your suitcase. And my advice is always to wear the bulkiest boots and coats on the plane so that you have more room in your suitcase for other things. As for base layers, I'd pack some merino wool tanks, underwear, some long johns and tights that are made from a wool blend. As for accessories, I like leather gloves that are lined with wool or cashmere because they're really slick looking and feel very business appropriate. You could also pack a beanie or some sort of wool felted hat and a scarf. For bags, I usually, for business trips, will bring a bag that's large enough for my laptop because that's what I need to travel with for business. But if for you, it's like a tablet or a notebook size, then you could bring a tote bag that's appropriate for that. I'd also pack some sort of handbag or smaller bag for evenings. And if it has a detachable strap, that's even better because you could wear it as a clutch if there's like a very formal situation. So this is what I would pack with the prompt submitted by a kind subscriber. If you have any packing conundrums, leave them in the comments below and they may inspire a future video. Thanks for watching and happy travels. Thanks for watching this video until the end. For more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the Capsule Suitcase and turn on notifications so you get all the fresh content as soon as it comes out. Thanks for supporting this channel. Happy travels!